Hi everyone, well I'm at the Australian Museum in Sydney. I'm down in Sydney on a work trip for a few days and I'm taking a day off to have a look at some things, and the thing I really wanted to see here is this Norfolk Island Kaka specimen. These are a bird which is very dear to my heart. Don't know why, they're just my favourite bird, and they're extinct. Now there's one specimen here which is in very poor condition. It was originally stored in alcohol, probably in the late 1800s, and I believe was taken out in the early 20th century, and it's dried out. It's in pretty bad nick, but they're letting me have a look at it. I'm taking some measurements. Down the line I hope to get a Churchill Fellowship to study these. There's about a dozen specimens around the world and most of them are in museums in Europe. So I've come in here to have a look at this one, and I'll just show you. So these were a separate species to the Kaka in New Zealand. A bit smaller. This one, I measured it before, was about 30 centimetres, and which is even small by their standards because the general accepted length was about 38. So this one might actually be just an immature bird. As you can see, it's in very bad nick. I can't take it out. We very gingerly kind of put it on its side so I could photograph the underneath. There's not a lot of accession information about when this guy was obtained. It does say here Phillip Island. Now the ones in Phillip Island I think were known for having slightly larger bills, and this one, the bill doesn't look as hooked as I was expecting. I have actually seen this one before. A long time ago as a young kid, I was at boarding school in Sydney and I ran into the museum and they let me come in and have a look, and at that stage it was still in a jar and they just pulled it out and put it in my hand. But you know, all these years later, the conditions slowly getting worse. So look, I've taken some measurements. I'm in the process of doing some research for a book on them. Being endemic to Norfolk Island, which I think is around about 30 square kilometres or so, it's not very large. They never would have existed in large numbers. They had Norfolk and Phillip Island. Phillip Island was the last stronghold for them. So there never would have been a lot around. First European settlement there, 1788. There were some Polynesian settlements, I think, in the 1700s, and in the excavations there's been a very small amount of Kaka bones that have been found, so it didn't form a large part of their diet. No one knows why, but that Polynesian settlement ceased somewhere in the 1700s, so it wasn't there for a long time, or maybe earlier than 1700s. But by the time the Europeans got there, 1788, there were no other people on the island. And there were two periods of the penal colony there, and these guys probably went extinct somewhere in the wild in the 1830s. Last one that was known died in captivity in a zoo in London in 1851. John Gould, I think, only saw one in Sydney, a pet that someone had. So yeah, it's unlikely that they existed in the wild after the 1830s, and I have actually found a written account of the last one that was shot. They used to, like a lot of island birds, where there were not many natural predators, they were fairly approachable, and if they did think there was danger, what they used to do is just climb up a tree, Norfolk Island pines or the hibiscus or other trees there, sit on a branch for the danger to go, which actually made them very easy targets to shoot. And there is actually a very small account which I found of someone, the person that shot the last one told this person about it, and so it's a second-hand account of that, and this poor little bird climbed up a tree to wait out the danger and just got picked off up there. So, so that's that. Hopefully we can get a lot more research on these guys, and it'd be great to do some comparative DNA work as well. Obviously the population numbers are going to be small being on an island, but it would be great to see what could be found out by getting DNA samples from all of the specimens around the world. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Very sad story, but something very special to see.